Welcome to the program. 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 You're listening to the Cruel and Unusual Sit-Down podcast. Pew, pew. Okay, listen up, folks. I've had it up to here with these so-called belts. You know what I'm talking about. Those sneaky strips of leather and metal that think they can just waltz around our waists, acting like they own the place. And then, to add insult to injury, I hear this news today. A belt was arrested for holding up a pair of pants on the Lower East Side. It's about the principle. These belts think they're above the law. With their little belt loops and shiny buckles. They've been tightening their grips on us for too long. It's time to take a stand. No more letting belts hold us back, both literally and figuratively. We need to buckle down here and put an end to this madness. Our pants deserve better, darn it. Dang it. So mark my words, folks. The era of belt tyranny ends now. From here on out, we wear our pants with pride, unencumbered by the tyranny of those waist-wielding culprits. Join me in the fight against belt oppression. I think there's some confusion, so I'm going to clear it up a little bit. If you have a thought and it sounds like you're talking to God, it's on you. You have the onus to prove that it's God. Yeah, you have to make sure that it's God and not your thought. If it's your thought, you can't say your thought is God. Also, you have to prove that it's God. How do you know it's God? First, that's one thing. Even if it sounds exactly like God. Maybe you always talk to God. Maybe. And even then, you have to be careful, because isn't there more than one? Isn't there other things talking? And some of them are pretty malicious beings, from what I understand. I don't know much. But maybe if you have a thought where you think God is talking to you, maybe that's just your thought. You have to accept that that might just be your thought. I can't come out and start saying that my thoughts were God's thoughts and then expect everyone else to go along with it. So the onus is on you if God's talking to you. That's all. I mean, it's something to consider. It's worth considering. Only because your thoughts, if you think your thoughts are God's thoughts, it's a recipe for disaster. Also, there's a problem if you didn't know that already. There's a real problem if you didn't quite understand what that means from the beginning, before I said it. There's a real problem if you thought your thoughts were coming from space, or they were coming from from the Creator, or the God Almighty, or which we just say is really, it's just your thoughts. You may not want to accept it, but the point is that it's on you. Well, imagine that. What if anyone just said, "Yeah, God said it for me," and then everyone said, "Oh, that God said it, so we have to do it." Don't you have to verify it? Isn't there supposed to be? What happened to vetting? Huh? Whatever happened to vetting? We want to vet gun owners. We want to vet immigrants. Why don't we vet God talkers? You ever think of that? Maybe there should be someone who says, I regulate the God talkers. You talk to God, huh? And then they say, no, this person didn't talk to God. They talk to themselves. It's their own thoughts. It'll be a better world. There are people that think that their thoughts can be attributed to God. That's what's going on. And even if they really did come from God, the onus is on the person who's talking to prove. And also, you wouldn't, as a person, me, okay, I'm a person too, and I also exist. Let's say I heard a message from the space, or from God, from literally from Almighty God, which I have before. Left me sadder than anything after it was over, because I was lost. I've suffered greatly, because once you talk to God, you fall apart if God's gone. So I don't know how they survived it either. That's another thing. The time I talked to God, it was like the death of the world. It felt like everybody I knew died. It was like the saddest day of my life. And then when God didn't return, because God said that he would be speaking to me much later, but not anytime soon. But that he said, just be waiting for a message, though, And so yeah, I had that experience. But you didn't see me going out and telling people that they had to do what my thoughts were, because God told me. God told me to go tell everyone, but I assumed that it was such a sad thing. I didn't want for them to have to know it. I didn't think it wouldn't help them. I was just going off the rails a little bit. Okay, but the point remains. But you can't. It doesn't take away the point. It's just like earlier in this year, there was a group of Republicans in Congress, and they said something about they started casting aspersions, and they claimed they had a whistleblower. They touted a whistleblower for a long time. Some of the ugliest people you'll ever see. It must be the stupidest people. Well, God talks to them. So let's see if we can go down this list here. The shit had a grievance. He says, hey, he wants to get back up that guy's asshole. So he said the guy shit him out, plopped him out on the street like that. He should have been in the toilet. He said, hey, he had a case because he'd been plopped on the street there. It made him dry out. He could have stayed moist and warm in the guy's asshole, but he didn't, because the guy didn't put him in the proper place. He said, hey, you know what? If I had been flushed down the toilet, there's nothing I could do about it. He conceded that right away. The piece of shit conceded it. He said, hey, yeah, you're right. If I had been flushed down the toilet, I can't say nothing about it. Yeah, but that's not what happened. He said, hey, this guy plopped me out on the street. That's just a fact. That's the fact of the case. You can't deny it, because I'm here on the street. He said, look, I'm here on the street. I'm caged in. He says, I'm caged in on the street. You can't prove that. You can't say that I wasn't here. They said, well, there might be some problems with the... They said some of the feces might have been handled a couple of times by some well-meaning individuals, but nonetheless, the shit was being handled. They said there could be a problem with the evidentiary chain of ownership there. That's what they said. So, but then as the proceedings went on, there came up a new case, because there was a countersuit filed by the next shit. So the next shit in the guy's asshole says, hey, no way, you can't. He says, look, what you're proposing right now, what this piece of shit's trying to propose right now is contradictory to my old rights as a piece of shit up in someone's asshole. He said, look, I'm up in this asshole. I have rights. He said, if I wasn't in the asshole, I would have certain rights. But now that I'm in there, he says, hey, because I'm up, look. He says, hey, because I have certain rights when I'm in the asshole. I have certain rights. And he says, look, you can't, what you're proposing takes away my rights as a piece of shit in the guy's asshole. He says he inherits these rights, like they pass down, and he inherited them, and he's gonna use them. He says he can't have a new piece of shit shoved up there. He said it would upset the balance of his own body when he gets out, when he gets plopped out. He said, God forbid, if he was put on the street, he wouldn't like it, but he's hoping he's gonna get a toilet. He says the odds are pretty good, but he said there's no way he's gonna accept an old piece of shit being shoved back up there. He said his own rights. Now then, next thing you know, contents of the stomach are talking. They got their own claims. They say, hey, look, this is going to affect us. He starts shoving shit back up in there. They say, hey, look, he starts shoving shit back up. It's going to start affecting us up here. Yeah. Next thing you know, you got lettuce out there. You got tomatoes. You got Pretty much every ingredient from a hamburger out there is saying, hey, every hamburger ingredient in the world is making a claim saying, hey, look, we could end up in this shit. That could affect us. You start running shit back up through this guy. They said, hey, that affects everybody. It affects the whole chain. So they filed a class action. And then so these guys, they filed a class action together against the claim of the shit, of the original shit. Well, it wasn't enough. So they got the seeds. They took the seeds of all the plants. And they got the eggs. And they said, hey, if you start shoving shit back up in there like that, you're going to affect the whole chain. We're part of it. You have to affect us. We can't. That's going to affect us too. Yeah. So, yeah. The piece of shit got evicted out of that asshole. He said, hey, that's an eviction. He said, hey, look, this amounts to an eviction here. I was evicted illegally. I wasn't given any warning. Wake up one morning. Next thing you know, I'm out on the street. The guy throws me out on the street. He didn't even let me know about it. He didn't even give me any notification. Yeah. Imagine that. He never even gave me notification. So, usually, there's a standard procedure. You're supposed to get notification when something like that happens. It's a normal procedure. But this guy, I don't know what he ate. I don't know what else happened. Yeah, I think some people think he might have been drinking. That's why that happened. But, we don't know. No one knows. But, in the end, he got evicted from the guy's asshole. And then the judge threw out his case. Same thing. Same result. But, he's got protected status. So, he's still out there. Yeah. All right. Well, I got to get out of here. Oh, yeah. I'll talk to you later. All right. I want to say something positive about Donald Trump. He don't need no help when he's eating. I was recently caught in a hot mic situation, and I just wanted to discuss it. And first, I want to play it. Yeah, I think so. I know it sounds arrogant. I just don't. I don't think. I think it's kind of an Excalibur situation. No one else can figure it out. Yeah, if they put a Nazi in there, I might just burn all the books. They won't be able to get the knowledge. Only one person could get it. Only one person. This is an Excalibur situation. You don't get it. You don't think it's an Excalibur situation? You're telling me... So you think it's just anyone can get it. It's communism. You're a Marxist. This call is over. So that was a phone call that I had made. The phone call is none of your business. Things got worse because the audio was picked up by the pundit Benny Benson. And let's go to the clip. Do we have the clip? Hey, do we have the clip? Well, where is it? We were supposed to have it ready ahead of time. Okay, you got it? Okay, now first of all, I have a real problem here. When I hear this clip, the first thing I think is, listen, this person is deranged. This person is deranged. Once again, Benny Benson takes the opportunity to attack me. But I stand by what I said. And I was not without support. For instance, Niels Bohr. Could we play the clip? All right. Well, in my opinion, I don't think we should rush to judgment. I've said similar things myself, among me mates. It's fairly common. to want to be King Arthur. And I don't think that we should hold it against him. Earlier this week, they upgraded the zygote, the fetus. The zygote, the fetus, is now been upgraded to a child. If zygotes are children now, what's next? Are we going to start assigning homework to sperm and eggs? Maybe we'll have to set up tiny cribs in the fallopian tubes. I can only already see the prenatal preschools popping up. Who would have ever guessed that reproduction would become such an academic pursuit? Once you get pregnant, you can claim maternity leave now. The minute of conception, call in. That's it. I have a child. It's already here. It's a child. There's already a child. I can't come to work.
This summer, come witness what some critics are calling the ultimate masterpiece of film artistry.
They can't take over our neighborhood. This is America.
You must open up at once or there will be trouble with the law. Look at this dollar bill. It says China took over the United States of America. It says it right here, on the back, in block letters. This is all quite legal. I'm afraid it is binding.
When did that happen?
A couple finds that they got more than they bargained for.
Benali, are you alright? You are acting strange.
I'm not all right, Todd. I'm not all right, Todd. I'm not all right, Todd.
Mom, there are monsters out there that prey on good honest citizens in whole suburban neighborhoods and there is nothing that little old I can do about it. Ha, ha, ha 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 he her, hee ha.
I just don't know. You know. It's like, I just don't know. Dr. Phil me.
Called simply the China Trilogy, learn what it means to be a true patriotic American non-immigrant.
What? No.
Todd, you know what you got to do? You know, brother, just like the time Uncle Scott apologized to Granny for being a louse. You gotta be strong. Mama ain't right about you. She ain't right, do you know what I mean? Is this clear?
You need a wallet. Stay out of my house. Do you hear me? Stay out of my house. Is that clear? Out of my house, stay out of her. But it damn sure is. It darn sure ain't not right and true like America when she got started. Did you understand my humble words? Please say that you did.
It cannot be. Okay, but why? But this cannot be. It is that which cannot be. Do you understand me?
Arden Frumley's thriller that asks the question, are there people who can do that?
Hush, my darling. For a star told me that good fortune is on its way. For good this time.
You and your damn star. What is that damn star ever going to do? Nothing, just like always. Don't you see? Do you understand me?
This autumn, when the armies came, they enslaved the earth under a bondage so awful, so bad, so unsanitary.
Is this the toilet paper you just used? Is this the toilet paper you be using?
You gonna be okay, girl. Don't let no man be getting you down, hear me? I got it from a man outside of town. He say it come from American. What is American? Answer me.
I moved for a divorce.
Divorce granted. Case closed.
Weeping. Sadness. Ongoing and endless suffering. Gnashing of teeth and violence.
Hell, the government does it all the time. Hell, the last time it happened in Vanguard. Hell, they round you up and they take you. No one knows where in hell they go.
So that's where it happened. That's where all them people was round her up. And they changed the laws that time? It's worse than now. It's worsened ever now.
You can't do this. This ain't right. This is the United States in American.
What revisionists are calling one of the most accurate portrayals of what it would really be like when China takes over Washington Part.
I remember the good times, before the war. I remember red, white, and one other color. A square has been taken from my flag. Can you see it clearly? Or is it on screen? No?
It may be green for all I care. I don't care none. Don't you see, Zelda? It's gone is all that matters. It might as well be black, white or clear peas.
Clear is not a color.
This too?
Is not.
This too?
Is not.
This too?
Is not.
This too?
Is not.
This too?
This is not about hue. It is about humanity.
When the voice from heaven is strong, it could be a savior is coming soon. This winter, a spellbinding conclusion to the China Trilogy.
You know, talk it to me. You know, act in bad way all time. You do as I say, not as I speech.
You better watch your radar. I see red, but it's not the kid. No idea, but it's not the kid. Listen, Mike, it's not the kid. Okay? You need to accept it. It is not the kid.
Is it make clear? No, it not. Johnny, you lost you home, now you Johnny go cry baby. I only confirm to international law when it's hit me.
Look at the star. Look at it. There it is. There. In the sky. Do you see it? It's over there. No. Up, look up. More. In the sky. Not that one. No. That one. See it? Do you see it? It is an omen, some kind of omen. An omen. I'm of the belief that the star is an omen.
Pew, pew. This has been the Cruel and Unusual Sit-Down Podcast. Coming to you weekdays at 11. Hey YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe.